Einstein, a pillar of modern physics made of papier maché, or my Singapore's speech. The nature of the universe is not difficult to understand and to explain. It's us, with our ignorance and arrogance, that makes it difficult to understand and to explain. We do even our best, one way or another, to make it hard and incomprehensible. Orazio Guglielmini. By the way, I don't send this script to the editorial board of the Annalen der Physik. I send it directly to the common readers of the web, because I am sure they don't need to be scientists or geniuses to understand the meaning of what I write. Part 3. We arrived in part 3 of our chat, that is between nothingness of nothingness and the proto-element. This happening is an achievement for our civilization. Just think that it took thousands and thousands of years of thought before reaching here at the real base of our universe, here where all began. This means that I have to talk to you now about some of the most important theoretical concepts and physical happenings, and exactly in this order. First comes nothingness of nothingness. This is the foundation of the universe. Second comes the proto-element. Third, space. Fourth, time. Fifth, gravity. Sixth, energy. Seventh, the very nature of the universe. We already know most of these concepts, but seeing their importance, I'll repeat them briefly. Let's begin with the first. Nothingness of nothingness is the base of our universe. We can't do without it. The difference, for example, between nothingness of nothingness on one side and the proto-element, space, time, gravity, energy, and the very nature of the universe on the other side, is that nothingness of nothingness exists without them, but the proto-element, space, time, gravity, energy, and the very nature of the universe, in order to exist, they need nothingness of nothingness. So, at the basis of our universe, there is nothingness of nothingness. A universe without this primeval phenomenon is inconceivable. The proto-element. From this particle was born the universe. The universe as we know it today. This element is like the embryo. In the embryo, there is the whole human being. In the proto-element, there is the whole universe. This primordial event is essential if we want to understand the universe in which we live and give a sense to it. Space. Space comes after the proto-element and is the third element in the construction of the universe. Of course, and this should be clear, nothingness of nothingness and space are theoretical concepts and not physical phenomena. But we can't avoid them. They are necessary and logical in order to understand the basis and the birth of our universe. Time. Time is the fourth element in the history of the universe. We have seen nothingness of nothingness. We have seen the proto-element. We have seen space. And now we'll see time. Time, as you know, in order to exist, needs an object. The proto-element, particle, mass, call it as you wish, but time, in order to exist, needs stuff, phenomena, matter. No matter, no time. I repeat, time is a concept, not a phenomenon. Gravity. Gravity can exist only if there are objects, and its force is relative to the mass of the object in question. This phenomenon can be explained in this way. First comes mass, then gravity, and after gravity comes energy. Therefore, no matter, no gravity, no energy. Energy. Energy, in fact, is what an object spinning in an empty space leaves behind it. Like a train when it passes near us while we are standing on a platform in a station. Our world, and I say it again and again, first of all, is made of objects. This is its raw reality, and its raw reality is physical. The rest is culture. Our universe is made of physical matter. The mental, intellectual, philosophical, poetical, scientific, religious, educational, all products of the physical world, the world as it is in itself. The very nature of the universe. At this stage, it should be clear that the universe, the whole universe, is only a concept, a metaphysical concept. Its core is not made of reality, but of nothingness, of nothingness. When we talk about the universe, we have to keep in mind that we are talking about something that goes beyond science, beyond phenomena, beyond ourselves. It is as it is at its very base and at its very best. Philosophy, rational and empirical philosophy. Voila the world in which we live, the world as it is, and not as we want it to be. These 7 concepts are the basis of our cosmology. Now, let's suppose that someone of you wants to know more about the start of the universe and asks for more explanations. I would reply saying this: let's see ourselves patient, very patient people, and let's go back into the history of the universe. Going back into the history of the universe means not going forward, but going backward, and this implies going back and back and back, and at a certain stage we would arrive exactly there where everything began. In this precise place where we are in this moment, 28 billion years ago, billion plus, billion less, was born our universe. And we are the first witnesses of this primeval phenomenon. And not only here, in this place, where we are now, we meet the 2 worlds, the world of nothingness, and the world of the proto-element. Between them there is a cleft, a chasm, a split, something that divides the world of nothingness from the world of matter. We can call these 2 worlds, one the world of the unknown, and the other the world of the known. In other words, the history of the universe has its roots first in the unknown and after in the known. Why in the unknown, someone may ask? Because the birth of the universe is an absurd act, or, if you want, a gratuitous phenomenon. No one can claim it, therefore unknown. We must keep in mind at this point that nothingness of nothingness, as well as space, time, gravity, energy, and the very nature of the universe, have no history, and have no history because they are only concepts, necessary concepts, yes, but only concepts. Instead, the proto-element, the Big Bang, the universe, and the man, they have their history and evolution. That being you see there in the picture, in front of the abyss and in front of nothingness, represents the history of every phenomenon, including ours. Having cleared, I hope, this essential basic puzzle of the universe, I'm going to talk now about quantum mechanics, or the theory of the subatomic world. In fact, everything started from here, from the subatomic elements. Matter began to be generated, to double, to triplicate, always taking new shapes, structures, values, and so on. And in doing so, gradually it reached nuclear fusion and created the Big Bang. Einstein, Albert Einstein, stopped his train of thought just here between nothingness of nothingness on one hand and the subatomic world on the other hand. He didn't go beyond the subatomic world, beyond the particles, electrons, protons, quarks, strings. His brain never his brain never reached the world of nothingness of nothingness. Niels Bohr, the father of quantum mechanics, used to say to Einstein, Albert, please stop saying God doesn't play dice. When it's enough, it's enough. In fact, when Einstein used to say God doesn't play dice, he meant exactly that the universe didn't depend on chance, on coincidence, but it was created. For Einstein, the universe was, in fact, created. Created by whom? By God, of course. Einstein was a believer, one of those who can't accept the world for what it is. As you have seen, we have pulled down the wall Einstein placed in front of us, in front of knowledge, in front of science, the wall he erected between the non-existence on one side and the subatomic world on the other side. And we went further, there where everything began, in nothingness of nothingness. This is the base of our universe, with or without the blessing of Mr. Einstein. Can we today, given these factors of the universe, can we talk about an intelligent design, a creator, a mystical power? I don't think so. Not scientifically, not philosophically, not realistically, at all. Is this a problem? And if so, for whom? To speak then of an anthropic principle, that is, the universe was created just for men, it is ridiculous. It's not only an insult to all the other species of the earth, it is something even more irrational and disgraceful, given the birth and the nature of the universe. Well, forgive me. I realize that this is not the right place where to pursue these kind of ideas. I stop here straight away and I go back to our story. So I have demonstrated all along this article that space and time don't exist, not as phenomena. Therefore, how can space, time be the backbone of the general relativity and time the fourth dimension of the world? Space, time, and the curvature of light is a foolish idea. It's true. Light bends when it is close to a celestial body, like the sun, but this doesn't mean that it is due to space-time at all. It is due to the physical properties of the sun, its mass, its energy, its gravity, its physical composition, and its geographical location in the universe. Space-time has no influence whatsoever on the curvature of light, and much less in general relativity. It's just a theory. Space-time doesn't exist physically, and if it doesn't exist physically because it has no body, because it is only flatus voices, how can it bend the light near the sun? Let's say it once more. It's the sun and its properties that make the light to bend, and not space-time. Space-time exists only in our mind as an invention and nothing more. The nature of the universe is not difficult to explain and to understand. It is us and our ignorance and arrogance that makes it difficult to understand, and in the end we do our best to make it even incomprehensible. Let me say it. Really, I have to. You know, there is something rotten. Something rotten. This time not in the state of Denmark, as Hamlet would say, but there is something rotten in the realm of general relativity, in the world's fourth dimension, and in the heart of science as Einstein understood it. I am sure that many scientists accept the work of Einstein without criticism, just like many religious people accept what priests tell them without saying a word. Einstein has been and still is a personage overvalued and over-idealized. And when a personage is overvalued and over-idealized, often there is a tendency to confuse falseness with truth and truth with falseness. The reason for this is mainly due to the fact that we live in a world devoid of true and heartful values, a world dominated by falsehood, by egocentrism, and by Machiavellism erected as an ideological system. In any case, for me, Einstein the scientist, is nothing else but a pillar of papier maché in modern physics. And not only this, the question of the question is, since all these Einsteinian theoretical concepts I spoke about in this work are not scientific truths, what are we going to do with them from now on? Well, ladies and gentlemen, after this long discussion and this long journey to the source of our universe, I'll take you back home now, back to Singapore. I know that ours was a big job, but necessary and very useful. From now on, we are no longer orphans and without roots, because we have discovered that we have a base, a birth, and a point of reference. Our story is thus completing, and towards the end of my Singapore's speech, we would have said nearly everything that had to be said about man and the universe. In the next speech, the fourth, I'll talk about, has man a sense in the world in which he lives?